We're back with part 3, ladies and gentlemen, of Pull That Name Out of the Hat, or more like Pull the Position. But today we get to the fun episode, kickers, punters, fullbacks. It is everything that I've wanted to talk about and more on the Allied Rivals podcast.
Yeah. It's time.
And ladies and gentlemen, we are once again back with another episode of everybody's favorite podcast, the one and only Allied Rivals podcast. My name is A.J. Herschel, also known as The Kid, and you'll already know that I'm back with my man Caedmon Bauer in another episode of Pull the Position Out of the Hat. This time, the one that absolutely nobody knew we were going to do. People said we weren't going to do it. People said we weren't going to talk about punters because it wasn't going to be interesting enough. But guess what? We are here. What's up, Caedmon? How's it going?
Oh, man, I am so great, except that finals is next week. But other than that, I guess the Packers play the Lions tomorrow, so that's nice. Probably an easy win. Wisconsin football plays Iowa soon, so I'm looking forward to a loss there because Wisconsin, they're not there anymore.
Yeah.
Wisconsin basketball is doing okay, and hoping they'll continue that. So, but I'm all great, AJ. How are you?
Good. Just got off of Roto Hackers earlier. We got a whole dump of Marvel and Star Wars news this week, so y'all already know I'm so excited for all that is coming. And like I said, Northwestern went ahead and already clinched their Big Ten spot in the championship, and we rolled over U of I today. So preparing for that showdown in the Big Ten championship. Excited about that. And Georgia kind of just ended Missouri football's whole career today. So college football, I got my two main teams locked up. So I sure am happy about that. And speaking of college football, before we even get into the main part of our episode, Caedmon, probably the biggest news to break is Ohio. The Big Ten eliminated their minimum game requirement to make it to the championship, and number 4 Ohio State is going to be able to play Northwestern, and I'm hoping for the biggest upset of the year. But Caedmon, what do you think? Is it surprising to you to agree with the decision? What do you think?
I think it's – man, I don't remember what I said in that episode. It would have probably been a long time ago, but it's probably a really – I mean, Ohio State's got to be, like, ridiculously happy about that. But Indiana just – I don't think – I mean, obviously we saw Ohio State whoop Indiana, and so you don't really – it's a lot better to see Ohio State there, even though it's probably not going to be a amazing game. But, I mean, I think it's probably good that they decided to not make the minimum game or to hold it, and so that Ohio State can play because they're way better than Indiana, and I think we'll probably see a better game. They are way better, AJ. They are way better.
Did you watch the game? Ohio State went up, but they brought it back to a touchdown in the second half. It was only because of a last-second save by Ohio State's defense that Indiana lost that game. Like, I know you're saying they blew him out, but Michael Penix Jr. threw for 500 yards and 5 touchdowns for Indiana, so they had Ohio State on their heels. 28 points in the last 2 quarters.
Can't say nothing about their defense, though.
Their defense held Ohio State to 14 points in the second half. Yeah, Indiana completely had a terrible first half, and that sunk them, but that just showed their second half adjustments could be some of the best in college football. They came out and made a game against one of the best teams in the country to a touchdown. So I don't know. I need to give Indiana a little bit of credit there, though.
I mean, Ohio State's a first-half team pretty much, and Indiana's a second-half team.
True.
So you're going to expect something like that, honestly.
All right.
They're both great teams. I'm sad that Wisconsin's not there.
Yeah, I wish I could say I'm kind of sad for Wisconsin, but I mean, my team's in the Big Ten championship, so we're probably going to get rolled, but hey, we got a week off. Maybe Pat Fitzgerald dialed something up for us. But anyway, moving on from college football, today we are finally going to be able to talk about the positions that a lot of people forget about: kicker, punter, fullback, my favorite, guard, tackle, and center, and maybe some other time we'll do kick returners. I don't know, but we're trying to keep these episodes within, a half hour. So, Caedmon, anything else you want to say before we get into the episode?
Nope, I'm all good here.
right.
Let's
AJ,
do
it. Let's do
you
it.
want me to start it off by pulling something out, or do you want to pull something out?
You can
first?
go ahead
All
and
right,
start it off. And before we do, just while he's getting his hat, just want to remind everybody to go check out our Allied Rivals shorts. We got a playlist on the main channel, and be sure to be subscribed and everything, because we're going to have a lot of episodes coming up soon. College football is hitting their championship weeks. We'll be sure to be covering that. We're going to be sure to be covering a whole bunch of other stuff, MLB free agency, and of course the NFL playoffs once we finally get to it. So
and the NBA's almost here.
It's the preseason, man. I can't believe it. Bulls had their first preseason game yesterday. I'm like,
yep.
What is happening? Crazy.
I know. All right. Well, I did pull it out of my awesome Brewers hat, and we have guard.
Ooh.
So, AJ, this was the one I was probably most unsure about, which is why I wanted you to talk first. So, why don't you give us your rundown on guard? Here we go.
All right. So, guard, for all of the people who are watching that don't really know what that is, in the offensive line, you've got 5 positions. You've got tackles on the outside, guards on the inside, and the center right in the middle. So, today right now we're talking about guard, and there's a whole lot of very, very good offensive lines out there. The Kansas City Chiefs.
And I believe AJ is having technical difficulties. So what shall I do? I'll wait for him. He just came back on it. AJ, welcome back.
I'm back. Sorry, what was the last thing you heard me say?
Something about how the center is in the middle, guard on the inside.
Perfect. Yeah. All right, perfect. So we got all of that done. So basically, there's a lot of great offensive lines in the NFL today. Baltimore obviously has to have a great one to be able to keep that running game going. You've got Kansas City Chiefs. Patrick Mahomes, one of the most protected quarterbacks in football. He rarely throws interceptions. They're a big reason why. Aaron Rodgers, incredible protection and great holes for Aaron Jones. The Packers probably have the best individual unit. But for an individual player, I'm going to go ahead and have to give it for me to David DeCastro of the Pittsburgh Steelers. He's been so good for so long. I really don't know how to pick anybody else. The guy is eerily consistent at his position, rarely lets up sacks, create great holes for James Conner. And yeah, the Steelers' rest of their line is kind of rough and banged up. They did not have a good game against Washington. Their run game is completely ineffective, but all that being said, David DeCastro as an individual player is still one of the most consistent guards that you will find in football today.
Yeah, I think you're probably right about that, AJ. He's very consistent and always good. And that's it. And then AJ's gone. That awesome swirly screen. So I will tell you, I've picked the exact same guard, David DeCastro. He like AJ said, he's just amazingly consistent. And here AJ comes back. Welcome back, AJ.
I don't know what my internet is right now. I'm sorry, man. I'm sorry, guys.
No, you good, man. You good. You want to pull something out of the hat?
Sure. I got my Bulls hat once again. The NBA preseason starting, so we're gonna go ahead and start it off with yes, Punter, which either makes you the most tired player on the field, or if you have a good offense, you have the easiest job in the world. Caedmon, who's your number 1 punter?
Yeah, so just like AJ did, if you don't know what a punter is. No, I'm just kidding. I'm sure you all know what a punter is. So I'm going to go with my man Mike Dixon on the Seahawks. He has a ton of punts inside the 20s. He is up there for just how many punts he had, or he might even be top at how many punts he has. Let me just check that real fast. Yeah, he's up there.
He's got the longest. He's got the longest, though.
Yeah, he has the longest.
Second longest, actually. Sorry, tied. Second longest.
Okay.
Yeah.
Well, anyway, the Seahawks have been having a lot of trouble lately getting the ball far down the field because of their offensive line, and it's not giving Russell Wilson enough time to do anything. Mm-hmm. So they've had to punt it a lot, and Mike Dixon has just done an incredible job getting the ball far across midfield, even when he's punting from the end zone. So he's and AJ, I know you have another guy, and man, I just think Mike Dixon is just such a great guy. He's super athletic. I don't know what about him makes me like him so much, but I'm going with Mike Dixon for my punter, AJ.
Very nice. Very nice. Well, for me, Mr. America, Pat McAfee, has moved away from the punting game and instead has gone to commentary instead in his YouTube channel. So instead, I had to go with new Mr. USA. That's Johnny Hecker, who I think has been the best punter for the last 2, maybe even 3 years in a row. The guy's eerily consistent. He leads the league in punts inside the 20 with 25. He kicks absolutely a lot, and this is something that a lot of teams will have. When you have a good punter or if you have a good team, the best punters are going to go to the best teams, and that's why you see people like Thomas Morstead. That's why you see guys like Tommy Townsend. That's why you see guys like Brandon Colquitt. Even he hasn't punted much this year. When you have good offenses who are able to move down the field and get him in field goal position, you're not going to need to punt a lot. But the Rams are a really weird team. Well, they will go back and forth between knowing how to move the ball very, very well, passing and running efficiently, and in other games they will just be able to get absolutely nothing started. Johnny Hecker is one of the most consistent. He doesn't have the longest, but he's got the most punts inside the 20. He's a coffin corner punter, and he's just eerily consistent. And look, Pat O'Donnell, I know he was another guy up there. Just want to give a big salute. He's been the Bears MVP for the last 5 seasons. He's been absolutely incredible and consistent as well. But Johnny Hecker, in my opinion, is just incredible punter, big leg, and he's one of the most fun guys to watch when he gets his chance to actually play football.
Completely agreed. They're both amazing guys. I think I will say that I do think Mike Dixon is more athletic. He jumps when he pops that ball up. He literally flies up. It's so cool to see. But all right. Let me pull out another one. Here we go. And oh man, AJ's excited for this one. Fullback.
Yes, let's go.
AJ, you've been waiting for this moment for a long time.
I've been waiting for this for so long, and now I can finally give the man the credit he deserves. Kyle Juszczyk is one of the greatest fullbacks and most consistent fullbacks we have ever seen. He is a pass catcher. He is a blocker. He is a runner. He can do it all. He's been around the league for a while. Ever since James Devlin exited the league, there's been no competition. The 49ers use him well. Kyle Juszczyk is the greatest fullback in the NFL today, and maybe the greatest since I've ever been alive. Mike Tolbert would have something to say about that. James Devlin would have something to say about that, but neither of them are in the league today. Kyle Juszczyk is here. He's consistent. He's a healthy guy who never gets injured. Kyle Juszczyk is absolutely incredible. He's a big dude, and I finally want to give the man the respect that he actually deserves. Kyle Juszczyk is my fullback.
Yeah, AJ, you did a great job describing that. Great job. I'm also going with Kyle Juszczyk. He's just incredible, and he is one of the only, especially this year, one of the only fullbacks where I can hear their name consistently when they're playing. Yep. And that's whether it's a block, whether it's a 5-yard catch, whether it's a run, whatever. He does a lot, and so huge credit to this man.
Oh, boy. There we go. Well, I think I'm going to go ahead and pull out the next one after I
here we
got
go.
all of that out of my system. So moving on, our next one, we're going to be covering the center position. The man who snaps to the quarterback. I think we both have the same one here. Caedmon, I know you're excited about this one.
I'm very much am. So Corey Linsley on the Packers, the greatest center this year for sure, and that's why I'm picking him. That made no sense. I didn't need to say that, but that's okay. Corey Linsley, he obviously has some help with David Bakhtiari and Elton Jenkins and a ton of other guys in the O-line. But he is constantly double teamed, one man to each arm, and he still has allowed some of the fewest sacks in the league, or let defensive tackles get past him the fewest times in the league to the quarterback. He has let up the fewest, I think, second fewest quarterback hits for a center. He's just been amazing. He's fast. He's athletic, even though he's a giant. And so, yeah, I'm very excited about Corey Linsley.
Yeah, I don't think really there's anything I could say about that. I think the Packers are the best offensive line in football as a combined unit, and he's a big reason of why that's possible and why Aaron Jones is able to be so elusive, because it helps him get great holes between the tackles, between the guard, between the center. So yeah, I'm in complete agreement with you on that one. Corey Linsley is also my center.
Awesome. All right, I guess it's my turn, right, AJ?
Yep, go ahead.
All right, well, here we go. The last one in my hat is the tackle.
Ooh, fun one.
AJ, why don't you take it away?
All right. Well, tackle is one of the most important and complicated positions in football, because not only are you attempting to cover the quarterback's blind side at times, but you've also got to create some of the biggest gaps for running backs. And there are so many great tackles out there. Orlando Brown has been absolutely amazing. Jack Conklin has been absolutely amazing. Anthony Costanzo, out of this world. Kelvin Beachum, David Bakhtiari, Mekhi Becton for a rookie on the Jets offensive line has been absolutely incredible. But even though this guy has been out for multiple games with COVID, he was put on the COVID list, I got to go Teron Armstead. Over the last 3-4 years, he's probably been the most consistent tackle in football. And like, how often do we see Drew Brees or Taysom Hill actually under pressure? There's a reason why he's actually able to get time under the pocket, because Teron Armstead is a huge reason why he's just a giant on the offensive line. The Saints offensive line has always been great. It's never really bad. Creates big holes for Latavius Murray and Alvin Kamara. The dude's thinking consistent. He's big, and he rarely, ever, if ever, lets people get past him, lets defensive ends get past him. So I'm absolutely going with Teron Armstead. The dude is a freak of nature. He's an incredible player. You're muted, by the way.
Yeah, he definitely is. And like you said, as a tackle, you have to be like one of the best. You have to have like the best blocking ability in the league, especially for the running game, but also for to keep the pass rush away. I mean, guys like Teron Armstead just have to be amazing at all of it. And he isn't surrounded by like a Packers O-line necessarily. I mean, he's surrounded by a good O-line, but not as good. But so I'm going to agree with Teron Armstead. After him, I'm going to go David Bakhtiari.
Just had to get your Packers guy in there.
Yeah, man. He's so good. And I think you mentioned him, but he's just also one of those other guys that can pretty much do it all. And I'm putting him there also, and I'm putting him as number 2 because Teron Armstead did miss a couple games because of COVID, and David Bakhtiari, he did miss some with injuries. So they both kind of had the same amount of gameplay and everything, and they're both they both have very similar game styles. I think Teron Armstead is just slightly more consistent, slightly better. So yeah.
Tackle is actually a surprisingly stacked position this year. Like, I'm looking at like the Pro Bowl rosters and everything. I can't fit all them into 6 votes, man. There's way too many of them out there. Well, I think it's finally time to go to our final position. And this one, I believe we agreed on. It is indeed the kicking position. And there's a lot of great kickers in the NFL. They've been much more consistent this year than they have been in previous years. I think we're finally adjusting to the long extra points. Caedmon, start us off. Who's your number 1 kicker in the NFL right now?
Yeah.
Yep. There we go. For both of us.
Young Hoku.
Youngway.
And
Youngway is how you pronounce it.
Yeah, I know. It's just funny. So great kicker. He has only missed 2 out of 34 field goals. His long, you're not going to believe this. AJ, guess how long his long is?
54, was it?
Take another guess.
61?
Take another guess.
64. That's impossible. That's the record. You tell me.
Yeah. Well, sadly my tab just glitched out, and so it is 54. You were right.
Okay. Yep.
I was seeing if I could keep guessing, but he's also only missed 3 extra points. So this guy is like one of the best in the league. When Matt Ryan cannot get the ball in the end zone, which is quite often, this guy can usually get at least 3 points. I guess that's all he can get, but he can usually get the 3 points, and that's been a great help to the Atlanta offense and everything. So, And there's a lot of other guys out there like Justin Tucker, Will Lutz, but they haven't had as much pressure to do all the field goals that this guy has. So
Yeah, and that's the tough thing is that with a lot of great kickers out there, Chris Boswell, Kaimi Fairbairn, Justin Tucker, Will Lutz, I mean, they're great kickers, but they really don't stack up to a lot of the competition because they just don't get as much work as they normally do. This year, there were a lot of guys up there. Jason Sanders, second year, eerily consistent for the Miami Dolphins, almost never misses a kick. Same with Graham Gano. For a rookie, Rodrigo Blankenship has come out of absolutely nowhere this year. He's been incredible. Harrison Butker's always consistent. But Younghoe Koo's only missed one kick all year. He has by far the most field goals. He's 32 of 33 on field goals. He's absolutely just dead accurate, 7 of 7 from 50 or longer. The guy he's one of the best kickers in the league, and he's very, very young at the same time. So there really wasn't anyone else to give it to. Younghoe Koo is absolutely the best.
Yeah. AJ, is that it?
Yeah, that should be just about every position. And there we go. We've gone through everything. Unless, Caedmon, you want to, on a whim, go on punt returner and kick returner right now. That's pretty much it for us, unless you got anything else.
Nah, I don't think I want to go on a whim right now. Maybe we could do that for a part 4. I don't know. That could be like I don't Yeah, 5-minute kick and punt returner. Yeah, we can do that.
There we go. Well, let us know if you guys want to see that, because we would definitely be down to do it. Absolutely. Yeah. So you guys let us know what you guys want to see. We'll absolutely probably be hitting up a NFL video next week on what's happened, because it's been a minute since we've done a recap. We'll definitely be hitting up a college football episode because we haven't done one of those yet. We're getting really close to championship week for Big Ten, SEC, and NBA starting back up soon. So be sure to expect more of that. And of course, we'll be getting an MLB free agency video in down the pipeline. And it looks like we got some comments. Lightning Bauer, first up. Good to see you, our man. He's always here. First off, brings up, what about Greg the Leg Zerline? He's actually missed a surprising 6 field goals this year. That's
how about
wasn't on our list.
Yeah, like how about all those misses against the Ravens? Like he just doesn't have. He had a great first half of the season, and then since then it's not been great.
Yeah, Greg Zerline is definitely got one of the biggest legs in football. You need anyone to get a 70-yard kick, you take Justin Tucker. But immediately after that, you take Greg the Leg. His accuracy just kind of dipped a little bit this week. He does bring up, what about the long snapper? So maybe we do a special teams, long snapper and return, man. Lightning Bauer wants to hear it. We'll do it. We'll do it. Yep. We'll throw in some long snapper and punt returner for you. We will absolutely do that.
Yeah. That'll be fun.
Yep.
I think can I just say one thing about the kick returner?
Go ahead.
I don't think I would like being a kick returner. And
really?
Like playing football, they get smashed and they usually don't get the great amount of yards that you would like. But I mean, neither do punt returners, but usually the punt returners get the good field position. I don't know.
The tough thing about punt returning and kick returning is, like, with punt returning, people are already 5 seconds away from you unless you fake them out. Kick returning with kick returning, especially since they moved the field, especially since they moved the extra point, kickoff yardage from the 25 to the 35. There are just so many more touchbacks. Unfortunately, we just don't have nearly as many kick returns nowadays. Lightning Bauer says, "Whoop, let's go." He also says, "What is the verse of the week, please?" Caedmon, do you have one for us this week?
It was Genesis 3:15, which I don't believe we have, but we're gonna have a new verse of the week next episode, so that's okay.
Yeah, there you go. And just in case, Genesis 3:15, if any of you guys do want to know, from the NIV, it says, "And I'll put enmity between you and the woman, and between the offspring and hers. He will crush your head, and you will strike his heel." That is what Caedmon brought up for us as our verse of the week.
Yeah.
There you go.
And I think that is pretty much it. Me and AJ will pull something out of from behind us next episode in our part 4. Look forward to that. Long snapper, punt, and kick returner.
That's going to be exciting.
That's going to be great. That'll be our final episode of the parts
series. Yep. And hey, maybe we make this a yearly thing.
Yeah.
Because essentially, we're just casting our Pro Bowl votes at this point, right? We're just saying who we're nominating for that. So anyway, ladies and gentlemen, thank you guys so much for tuning in. We will see you guys on another episode of the Allied Rivals podcast very soon. And hopefully we will have an intro the next time you see us. Ladies and gentlemen, lightning power in our comment section. Anybody else watching, be sure to leave a like, comment, and subscribe. You guys have been YouTube on before. I don't need to tell you any of that. Hope you're having a great day, month, night, year, whatever you are in the middle of right now. Hope you are having a great one. We'll see you next time on the one and only Ally